Hello everyone, welcome to Southern Wreaths. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Today I'm going to show you something a little different. I decided to make a rope wreath, and I'm using a heart frame from Dollar Tree and some nautical rope from Dollar Tree. I tied a knot in the end of the rope. I find that's not necessary, so you don't have to do that. You can just put it on there with the zip tie. It has like a little plastic at the end, and that's enough to keep it secured. It doesn't pull through. And I was pulling on it pretty tight, so I know it's not going to come through. So that's kind of a little bit of a waste at the end of each rope, and it adds bulk. The easiest way I found to do this was to pull the the rope out straight and then just wrap it around my hands. That way it's small enough to keep putting through the center of the wreath. And you could do a lot of different fun designs with this where you can weave in and out of the bars. I've seen people do that. But I just wanted to keep it simple, and I wrapped it around. You will see on the curves, I do have to do something a little different. But it's as simple as that. You just wrap it around the frame. Then you want to push it together. I did not use hot glue at the beginning, but once I got into the turns, I do use some hot glue. So if you wanted to make it, you might want to go ahead and have your hot glue gun ready. And I only hot glued on the back because I was worried if I did it on the front, you would see the hot glue. So once I'm done with that piece of rope, I'm just going to connect it with a zip tie and then just kind of tuck it into where I've already wrapped around rope. I end up using, I think it was 5 or 6 like rope things from Dollar Tree. Packs of rope, there you go. Now see, here's where I started to add hot glue when I was in the curves, and I've got it turned around. Okay, so in the curve, I had already wrapped this and unraveled it because I realized that it wasn't going to wrap properly. So in the curve, I picked 2 spots where I'm only wrapping it around the 2 top bars, and I did it 4 times. I believe 4 times on this one and 3 times on the next, or 4 times on both. And then I just go back to wrapping it the normal way. And I do this, like I said, at 2 different spots. That's just because it didn't have enough room on the inside to wrap around, or the outside. Either way, there was going to be too much on the inside without it overlapping, so this was the easiest way to fix that. I hope that makes sense. I did find in the end you don't need the hot glue. It just made me feel better as I was going through, because once you have enough rope on there, you can kind of push everything around. I guess the main reason I was using it was to keep the right size in the right place, because if you twisted it too far over, then when you try to push it over, it wouldn't fit. Again, I hope that makes sense. This wreath was a lot different than anything I've ever done. Okay, I'm going to try to explain this the best way I can. So I'm going to freeze it right here and show you. So to the left where my left hand is, I am putting the rope through a hole. Right there where my fingers are, I'm pushing the rope through. And I'm alternating left and right. So I go on the left side and I put it through the hole, pull it tight. And then the next loop will come up on the right and go through the hole, and I'll pull it tight. Move it over to the left and pull it through. And I decided to start at the bottom and make my way up on the frame because it wasn't wrapping properly when I was trying to come down. It kept wanting to separate. So this was the easiest way for me to do it. And then I'll fill that hole with, like that. I reach up and put it through. It's not perfect, and it kind of sticks out a little bit. So if you find a better way to do it, that would, that's awesome. But I don't think it's that noticeable for it to be an issue. But see, it was a lot easier to wrap it going up than it was down. I did have a little trouble here with the rope wanting to overlap, but I figured out what I had done. I had made it way too tight along this line. I noticed on the left it was looser than what it was there. So once I just attached it, ended it with the zip tie, I didn't quite cut it yet, and I just positioned everything the way I needed it to be. And then I'll trim that away and trim the rope away. And then I decided it needed something, and I didn't think a bow would look right since it's such a small frame. So I had this cute little sign that fit perfect in the center. I believe I got this at Dollar General. And then I'm just attaching it in 2 different places. I just wanted it to hang a certain way, and this was the best way for me to do it. I'll hold up things in front of me, and where I put my fingers on either side was the best way, or the best look to me. And if you think about it ahead of time, you can use that rope in between the 2 zip ties to hang your wreath. I ended up having to cut it because it wasn't where I liked it. But there I showed you could also use rope. I didn't like the way the rope looked either. So I cut a piece of wire off of a truck sign that I bought. And I actually have a video coming up where I use it. But I just used that to attach it to the back. And then you'll see here in a second, I just bend it around. And it's super simple to manipulate the metal with the wire cutters. So if you have any wire, you could use that. Or you could use a piece of ribbon or just anything you have on hand is fine. But that's how it looks when it's all done. You can see the holes, so if that bothers you, you can find a different way to do it. But that's it. That's how I made my rope wreath. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can always email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. Thank you so much for watching, and if y'all learned anything today, or if you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.